Hey, time to build a newt tank. Let's do this. Okay, so we're in here in the office section, and the tank that we are creating our scape out of is this 20-gallon long over here. So you can see I've got a bunch of things laid out for the project, which I'll go through these as we go through the build. But I've already got the hardscape in. Hardscape is the biggest part to a tank when you're doing some kind of nature scape, because it's a real backbone. It's the start. It's where you base everything off of. As you can see, I've still got some sand in here already. This rock is Ozark Mountain Stone. This is actually from the project I have going out in my backyard right now, where I'm about to do a bunch of ponds out there. But as far as the substrates that I'm using, this sand that you saw there, that's the Carib Sea Supernaturals. Then over here I have some Brightwell Aquatics, the Rio Escura F, nice black substrate. And then here is a special blend that I got from Serpa Design, which is some really cool stuff. I saw him use this in a tank he did for a lizard at Aqualand, and I thought it was really cool, and he hooked me up with it at Aquashella. So big shout out to Tanner, Serpa Design. Love his work, and thank you so much for that. Actually gave him some gold Medecas too. I mean, great trade. Anyways, first attack, and first thing I need to approach is this corner down here. It's got a huge gap down there, and I don't really want them getting back there. So what I'm planning on doing, and you can see how I have it tiered off here, the idea is to get the water to about right there, and then I could pump it up, waterfall it down. So that's the idea and the plan. So that's why I've got some mesh here. I've got some plastic that I took from a tub, fabricating like a top for this so I can easily take out the filter if I need to later on for maintenance. And as far as the pump, this is just an Odysseus EX250. Usually there's foam in here, but I took it out. That way, if any bigger particles do get through, they can settle on the bottom of this instead of the sponge getting compact with little things over time. The way I'm going to have it set up, I don't think there's going to be much getting into that pump. Hopefully I won't have to worry about maintenance, but just in case, I do want to make it easy on myself, and I can't just put rocks in there, because then the water would just fall back down here and wouldn't flow over. So I have to kind of make a shield too for it to be able to flow back over. That was one of the biggest hurdles I had design wise for this tank. But yeah, so we're going to fill this in. We're going to add some mesh here to block that off so this stays open and I can deal with that. I have to figure out how I'm going to support this too. I do have some rocks down here that I'm going to put in there and fill in with that. Then I'm also going to use this to fill in. That way you can kind of keep the color along the lines of these. All the sand will be buried. The sand was actually already in there because I had a different plan for the tank. Now that I switched it all out, I was almost about to tear it all out, start together. But I really like the idea of this. And I would love to get some moss growing on it, all kinds of other stuff. But anyways, we'll get to that here as we build this. Got the mesh in. And get some rocks in here. Alright, so I got most of the rock in here, and then I did have it propped up on the other side with some rocks, but this keeps wanting to flop over, so I'm going to put something else back here to hold that up. Alright, so I got that in there. I just ended up using some rocks along the side here. Kind of flipped the lid over, or lip of it over. So just holding now. Make sure my pump's down below the water. So let's get some of the Brightwell on top of this. Now I did cut out a groove for the cord too as well. Should fit in. So, alright, so it'll need a little modifying, but cool. Alright, so I got that down there. corner wants to flop up a little bit, I'll just put a rock on there. But I'm going to drill a hole now to get the fountain. I'm going to use this. Alright, so I got this fabricated, and this is actually just a power head attachment that comes with some pumps. I had a bunch laying around, so I use that as a lip. A hole through here. Alright, so I got that put in there, like so. I'm just seal around it so water doesn't go back down. Alright, so change the game plan. I ended up getting this pushed down a little farther. I was able to peel a little bit off the mesh. That way I have some depth for that other substrate, but now my hole's too big. So I'm probably gonna have to patch this hole up with some of that mesh and then reseal it once again. Hey Willikers. I can go all the way down there. And probably have to still seal the edges. I don't know how this is gonna work. I hope this works. Now, I was not prepared for this build. Like I say, this is completely my first build doing this. I am doing it off the wing. I just used some of that other plastic and made a little patch there. Alright, so I got that patched up. I'll let that dry. See what that does. We'll see about sealing the sides. Probably want to test it first. Jeez. Well, lights out for today. So, I want to keep in mind that I'm not entirely recommending you do it this way, but this is the way I'm doing it. I'm using a little ingenuity, using what I have around the house to do it. A little unorthodox, but hey, let's see what happens. Alright, so that's dried, sealed in there, which is nice. So now I can just take this top off here, one piece. Fits right into my pump if I ever do have to clean it. Did notch me out of sections for that wire there. Probably have to focus to put that back on there, but you guys get the idea. Alright, so that's back there where it needs to be. Now the next thing to tackle is the edges here. I did think about just siliconing that in, but it's still going to run down off the edge here and over there, which that's not what I want. I would love to have like a little waterfall effect, have it try to direct towards this way at least, kind of keep that wet. And I wasn't sure how I was going to do this, so I hit up my boy Tanner of Serpa Design. If you haven't ever heard of Serpa Design, definitely go check out his channel. His builds are absolutely amazing. I am definitely nowhere to his skill, but same place I got this substrate from. And he also recommended this underlayment here. It's a Beckett 6-foot underlayment. It was around $25 for this. That was with free shipping, so not too shabby. So $25, $30, depending on your tax if you got it. So I'm gonna cut me a piece for that and kind of lay it over, and we'll see what it does. All right, so I've never actually used this stuff. This stuff's kind of cool. It's almost like a blanket. Really interesting. All right, so I just cut a rough piece off the corner there. That way I can just get my straight edge. Now I should just be able to put it where I want. Actually, I want this on this side. And cut out my hole. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Now over here in this corner, it's still gonna want to go down there, so I'm gonna grab some rocks and just kind of prop this underlayment. And hopefully that will help it stick up and not want to go down that way. See, it's kind of like dammed it up. Same thing over here on this edge too. I want something like that. Bank it up on the back and on the side, that way you can hold in the water. Like I said before, I've never actually done a project like this, so I am kind of learning as I go. Hardest part is going to be cutting this circle out in the right spot, which crown should work for that. I can just circle it around here. You got it set here. Make it a little smaller than the hole. That way I can stretch it around it. Hopefully. Put out my circle. And voila, a hole. Let's get that on. Boom. Alright. Now any excesses I can go ahead and trim off that I don't like. Now this underlayment is really easy to cut and custom, which is really nice. Now I was having an issue with making this look more natural, because if you got that drop there and the rocks actually holding up, it didn't really look very natural. So I got a piece of rock that it doesn't quite fit to hold that up, but as you saw me break that rock up, I put it up here. So now I can fill this in with the substrate and have the illusion of this actually being dammed up, so it'll look more natural to fall over instead of looking more natural to come down on this side. And then the same thing over here. Now it's been taking me some time and manipulation to get these corners up to where I want them to make them look more natural, to kind of prop them up, because now I got to get over this level of the rock to be able to try to get it over this level of the rock, because it's going to pull up here hopefully, or well, it won't even make it to there, but I want this to be blocked off so it can run off from here. So by doing that, I just got to keep messing around with rocks, trying to get it up and above that. Alright, now I actually ended up lifting the rock, that way I can get it to slope more towards this way. So I gotta refill that in. You can kind of see where it's lifted up, lifted off. But I've got this set to where I want it, and it kind of took away some of the space, but not enough to where I think it's gonna make a difference for them. So now I should hopefully be able to direct that waterfall through this right here, which will come down to here and kind of trickle off over here. So that'll end up being underwater, and we'll try to keep the water line around here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and seal this around here and just make this one piece, so I could take all that apart at once, and that way that water doesn't get down here. Alright, so we're in the after hours in the fish room. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, but I want to get this thing done. So we got our underlayment here. It's been over 24 hours that this has been sealed. So should be ready to put in a special substrate. And here's the good stuff from Tanner Serpa Design. Now, this stuff's really neat. It's kind of like a moss mixture with bark and just good old Mother Nature things. Pretty cool. Alright, let me fill her up. I did put a sponge in here to kind of keep this from out there. I might end up putting a rock right here too. Alright, so there we have it with the substrate in there. I'm liking this stuff. It's pretty cool. All kinds of different natural mixture in it. But I'm going to go ahead and put some water in here. Let it kind of sit and flow for a little while. I need to find me a nice piece of wood to stick up on top of here instead of a rock. It'll be lighter and they can actually hide underneath it. And yeah, let's see if we can get the water flowing. Some of this is actually probably going to come up. Maybe I should just saturate. Well, I don't want that stagnant for a while. Anyways, let's get some water in here. I can try to get some of the acidity out too throughout the couple days and see how that goes. Alright, moment of truth. Now as far as this lower substrate, I'm going to go ahead and put some rocks and mesh on top of it, because it's going to, I have a feeling it's going to try to flow, so hopefully that'll help. I have this really dirty sponge, dirty old Mom tank water, so I'm going to go ahead and get that in there just to help get things cycled, get the bacteria flowing and going. And nice and dirty. Dirtier the better. And the substrate's definitely wanting to flow up over here. I'm not as worried about it over here because it's not going to go up over this. But having that down will definitely help. Alright, let's see if this thing works. So we got water. See what happens. This stuff's definitely gonna need time to settle for sure. It's not a quick process. Come on, pump. Hope I put it low enough. little bit. Waterfall action. Seems like it's still falling. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sweet. That's what I wanted it to do. Go over this side. Let's see if it actually flows over here though. It's not a big flow, but it's a trickle. Which that's all I really need. I don't need high flow. It's gonna be a mess. We'll get that figured out. You see it coming through there. That sponge is really oxygenating it. Wow. Cool, dude. Alright, so we're gonna leave it at this for now. I'm gonna give this some time to settle. You guys will have to come back. We'll scape it up. We'll make it look real good, because now it just kind of looks like a muddy mess. We'll see what we can do with it. So it's settled a little bit so far. It's been about a week or so. Took that trip over to the Virgin Islands, did the Wild Aquarium videos. If you haven't seen those are really cool. But I need to get some more of this substrate up top. And I need to get something up over that. That way it'll help from pushing that over. But I got a really cool idea in mind. Something that I already have in another fish tank. Alright, so this piece should work out well. This should give the newts somewhere to hide underneath here. Awesome. So it seems like the mesh and the rocks definitely help keep down the substrate. You can see it over there in that corner there. I had the same, but it's actually mashed down and setting where it needed to. Which is good. Good. This up and out. Slowly. Still something wanting to float from that. Oh man, look at that air pockets. That was not ready. I guess there's only one way to do it. Just let it float for now. We'll settle it later. Mostly big chunks of wood. Little stuff wants to settle. It's the thicker wood. Alright, starting to come together. Here we have it with the addition of the wood. That'll be a nice little home for the newts to go into. And it's starting to look more full. Just gonna have to let this stuff settle down for a while. I got a good idea of what plants I want to use now. I would like to find another piece of driftwood that goes down in here, but matching it up with that wood is gonna be really hard. Also, I see biofilm growing there, so that's a good sign that it's getting cycled. I'm gonna go ahead and put some melt endlers in here. They can live in with the newts. They won't overbreed and just take over everything. And I've got a ton to use. If you guys haven't seen the video on this tank, definitely recommend checking that out. Alright, so we got some endlers in there. Kind of guppy hybrid. They look cool. Also, I'm going to want to throw some shrimp in there. I'm not sure if I should keep them separated. Well, this is super sad. That newt didn't make it. I still got the other one back there. But yeah, that one didn't make it. And I have had them for well over a year too, so I don't know how old they were when I got them. They had plenty of fish and shrimp to eat in here. They do like crustaceans, so they've been living alright. And they did have this to hang out on whenever they wanted to get out of the water a little bit. Oh boy, he's hanging out back there. So I guess now these shrimp have their revenge. But I still got one, we'll get him in. I don't know, maybe we can make a community newt tank? I got him in there. He's going straight into the substrate. I did put him in on there, he just belly slid right into here and then started digging himself. So maybe we'll see him later. It's been a couple days. Pilo moss seems to be doing well. Really love that moss, one of my favorites. Now time to put in some more plants. Alright, he's out and about. This is the day after I added him. He's probably looking for some granules. Look how fluffy that substrate is for him. It's pretty cool, dude. Alright, so I found this neat piece of wood just laying around, and it's going to take away some of the light here, but I love how it branches up over the stone there. But this should create a walkway for him to actually get up. And luckily I had a stone piece that actually fit that. But then again, if you don't, you could always make one. Now I get some substrate around there. This guy's cool, look at him. He's an old fella. He's been around for quite some time. You can see he's got cataracts in his eyes. So I'm glad he at least got to get in here before he got too old. We're living in paradise now. Loving it. Now I do have it fuller than what I was planning. I think it's looking pretty good. Just added some Hydrocotyle Traparta up top too. That way it can blend in with this and the Pilo and then run down. See it back there. Now I could have added more, but I'll just let time take its course. No rush, because then I'll have to just maintain it. And I gotta get a new top. Been using this for now just so he can't get up and out. Because, I don't know, I bet he could crawl out of that if I let him. Or if he got up there. I haven't seen him up there yet. He's been staying in the water. I haven't seen him out yet. Could be too dry though. But he is always out and about. Always hanging out. I was thinking about adding Brazilian pennywort, but I just think it'd be too much. It'd get pretty big in here. I think with just these two, we'll keep it simple. I don't know if I'll add any riparian plants. I'm not really planning on it. Just keep it simple. Keep it clean. I'm digging it though. I am digging it. Can't wait till it grows out. Alright, this is cool to see. I was looking for him. There he is. He's all camouflaged. Actually up and out. Really cool. Look at that blue tail. Sorry buddy, am I waking you up from your nap? Digging the setup. I'm not sure how well the pump is working right now. Especially with the water level up there, but I don't use filters anyways. I tried. We'll see. Oh, there's my boy. Alright, time to make a proper wall here. Got some twin wall polycarbonate sheets. Alright buddy, we got you a new top here. I like it. I'm happy with it, even though I'd like the water to be a little lower, which that'll come in time. But yeah, let the Pilo moss grow out. Like I mentioned, I could have put more plants in here. I don't really want to put anything up there because it'll make them want to go up and out. I didn't quite give myself enough space. But of course the pump right now, I've got it all done. Everything's finished. But now the pump doesn't work. Usually I'll get the pump one of these little in and outs here. And sometimes they'll get it to actually kick back on, but not working. So that's the way she goes. Now I gotta deal with that, or I could just let it be for a while. We'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky, it'll change its mind tomorrow, and maybe it'll start working. Sometimes that's what happens. Now I'm not gonna keep these fish in here much longer just because they prefer more alkalytic conditions. Which I'm sure this is probably going towards the softer side since there's sphagnum moss and all kinds of other stuff within this substrate. But he absolutely loves digging in this substrate. It's perfect for him. He's not even trying to hide either. There's actually a little hole in there where they could either shrimp can go in or he can cave into. Be cool when this hydrocotyl actually blossoms up, and should give a little more background back there too. This is already settling real well here underneath the logs, so that's promising because it hasn't been very long. Oh, he's climbing up. He comes up and gets air every now and then. Here goes the shrimp. Run, shrimp. Alright, so there you have it. There's the newt tank. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, it was my first time doing something like this. Wasn't, I don't know, maybe the best, but I had fun doing it, and I'm glad I finally got him a new home. So if you guys like this, it would be awesome if you hit that thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, that would be awesome. Lots of cool stuff coming up. Lots of cool stuff happening. Always on here. So stay tuned. I'll talk to you all later next time. Peace. Check out this guy. He's all kinds of flexible. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. There was some granules down there last night. I think he's hungry. He's a wild one though.